So in today's video, I'm going to grade every pick for the 2021 MLB first round. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do in today's video. But before I get into this video, 92% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So go ahead, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. The first round just ended at the time of filming this video. They're into the competitive balance round right now, and they're on to the 36th pick. The Reds just selected Matthew Nelson out of Florida State. So yeah, let's go ahead and get us this video with the first selection. We all know by now the Pirates selected Henry Davis, college, Louisville. This grade is an A+. This is a good selection here. He fits well with the team, not to mention that he wasn't my best player in this draft, but he was my second best player in this draft. And it's a smart pick. You technically go down a player, but you still get a very, very good player here. And you get it for the better fit here. I'm not a big fan of always going for the fit or always going for stuff like that. But I think there is a certain amount of it in the first pick that needs to be for fit and that needs to be for best player available. Like if there was a consensus number one here, then I wouldn't argue with him going. But Henry Davis, man, this is a good pick. I mean, I told you guys. I said that there's been a past history of catchers going very high in the draft, and it continued today with Henry Davis going in the first round. That's the last 2 out of 3 drafts with catchers going first with Adley Rutschman and now Henry Davis. With the second selection in the 2021 Major League Baseball draft, the Rangers selected Jack Lyder out of Vanderbilt, A+ for this grade. Jack Lyder deserves an A+. This guy's a future ace. We saw the press conference. Didn't look too happy to be in Texas, but he can deal with it. He can deal with it. He's the future ace of this team. There's no and if or buts about that. He is the future ace of this team. And Jack Lyder is probably going to may finish this year, single A advanced, double A. Like Jack Lyder's going to be up quick. And that's going to be the thing. Like their players are starting to, the Rangers players, like their timeline is kind of in double A-ish. So they could be, their prospects, maybe 2024 or 2023 is their competing time. And Jack Lyder, I think, is going to be up by then. I think he's going to be up by 2022, 2023. And that's a good pick. I'm glad that the Rangers are not cheap and don't want to spend the slot value on him. I'm glad that they went with this pick. This is a very smart pick. And if you're a Rangers fan, you should be very happy about this one. Next up at number 3 was a little bit of a questionable pick, you could say. The Detroit Tigers selecting Jackson Jobe, the right-hander out of Heritage Hall High School in Oklahoma. This grade is going to be a B+, because I think that Jackson Jobe is a very, very good pitcher. I just don't know that he is top 5 in this draft, but I could understand why the Tigers would go Jackson Jobe here. They like this arm, and they think that he's a better arm than Kuma Rocker. And I understand that. And Jackson Jobe, it has the slider that we all rave about, and then he has the other pitches too. With the fastball, he has some good other pitches as well. He is a risky pick, being a prep arm. That is a pretty risky pick. But in this draft, I tend to like the prep arms with Andrew Painter and him. So yeah. Next up at number 4, this is a really, really good pick for Boston. You get Marcelo Meyer out of East Lake High School in California, the shortstop. He gets a lot of comparisons to Corey Seager. And wow, this pick for Boston. You should be excited and ecstatic. A+ is the grade. I first, when this pick happened, I was like, oh, the fit's not great. But sometimes you just got to go over the fit, and you've just got to think about the pick in general. And getting Marcelo Meyer at number 4 is an exceptional pick, an exceptional value for that pick. There's no and if or buts about it. That's a good pick right there. And getting Marcelo Meyer at number 4, the fits, like I said, I've talked about this in my past couple draft videos. I don't know which ones you'll see first. But the fit's not great, but you've got to go for best player available. And Marcelo Meyer was the best player available. And getting him at number 4 should excite Red Sox fans. And they should be ecstatic after this draft. We'll see what they do in the second round. Yes, they didn't go pitching, but still, I would be very, very happy with this pick. All right, now to the 5th selection. The Baltimore Orioles selected Colton Cousin out of Sam Houston State. I'm not going to be Mr. Repetitive here and repeat all my concerns about Colton Cousin, I'm going to give this a D+. I don't love it. They do have some outfield depth as well. You've got Heston Kyrgyzstan. You've got Cedric Mullins. You've got some outfielders for the future. Cedric Mullins, if we look at his age, I'm pretty sure he's fairly young to be the outfielder for the future. Yeah, he's only 26, so he's the outfielder for the future as well. So I guess it's a Kaiser Kyrgyzstan and Mullins, but he's a natural-born center fielder. That's what I don't particularly like. He's got that swing that I don't particularly like either. But yeah, Colton Cousin, if you're watching this video, I mean, prove me wrong. Next up at number 6, Jordan Lawler for the Arizona Diamondbacks, coming out of Dallas Jesus Prep College, or Dallas Jesus College Prep in Texas. He's a shortstop. All we were talking about is the shortstops, and the shortstops kind of failed in this draft. Jordan Lawler is a very good pick at number 6. And if you're Arizona, there's no way you can pass up on this pick. Getting Jordan Lawler here, and this pick right here is an A. It's a very, very good pick, and it's very good value. He's getting compared to Carlos Gray, and if you can get that type of player where you traded your shortstop in Dansby Swanson, one of the not-so-good trades in MLB history, you get your shortstop now 6 years later, and maybe he can really be that great shortstop. And, yeah, at number 7 is probably the worst pick in this draft, Frank Mezzacata out of East Catholic High School in Connecticut. I feel like people are just not talking about this mistake enough because obviously he can't prove himself quickly. But still, this is not a good pick. This gets an F. This is a bad pick. This is not a smart pick at all. This was a heavy reach. At number 8, the Colorado Rockies went with Benny Montgomery out of Redland High School in Pennsylvania. I don't love this pick either. There's his swing, and I think Benny Montgomery is a good player. I just don't know at number 8 with the farm system that the Rockies have filled with outfield prospects. I don't know that selecting Benny Montgomery was the smartest idea. At number 9, the Angels went with Sam Bachman out of Miami University Ohio College. This one gets a B-. I think that this is a good pick, and I think that you can definitely see the potential with Sam Bachman. He can throw 100 miles per hour. This guy can throw absolute gas. But on the other hand, this is not a good pick comparing to Kuma Rocker is the next guy off the board. And this is just not it's a good pick, but not a pick that I absolutely love here for the Los Angeles Angels. It's gotta be better. Like, I know that you probably really like Sam Bachman, but Kuma Rocker is the pick there. It's got to be. With the 10th overall selection, the New York Mets got Kuma Rocker in this draft, and a lot of people consider that to be the steal of the draft. I'm going to give that a grade of an A because that's a great pick. You get Kuma Rocker at number 10, where 2 teams at least should have already selected him in the Royals and the Angels. And this is a very, very good pick. This beefs up their farm system a lot, too. Whether he is used in a potential trade or whatever, Coomer falling to 10 is great. And I know scouts are skeptical, but I think why they're so skeptical is just because they're almost over-scouting Kumar. And that's just because he's been the consensus number 1 overall pick. And I think they're just trying to find holes in his game, if that makes any sense. At number 11, the Nationals selected Brady House out of Winterboro High School in Winder, Georgia. He gets a grade of a B because this guy is probably going to move to third base. That's kind of been speculated all along that this guy's going to be moved to third base. He is a shortstop right now, though you've got your shortstop of the future as of right now, and Trey Turner at shortstop right now. Brady House, though, at number 11, you can't complain about that pick because that's a very, very good pick for Washington here. Getting him at number 11 when this guy was supposed to go in the top 10 is a good pick. Next up is another high school player, but this time a catcher, and Harry Ford. The Mariners selected Harry Ford out of North Cobb High School in Georgia. This kid's a B-. We don't really know where Harry Ford's going to be playing. This guy could play catcher. He could play second base. He could play the outfield. This guy could play anywhere he wants just about. And Harry Ford is a great pick here. Now, you do have Cal Raleigh, who they just called up today at the time of filming this video. But Harry Ford here is a very, very good pick. I like Harry Ford's potential a lot. At number 13, the Philadelphia Phillies went with Andrew Painter out of Calvary Christian High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Andrew Painter, I really like his stuff throwing 97. Got pretty good control with that as well. And for the Phillies here, you're looking for starting pitching a lot. And Andrew Painter here is very, very good. Similar to Mcgreevey, who they picked last year in 2020. And by this, they're starting to really beef up that farm system. It's starting to get much better of a farm system. And not to mention that rotation for the future looks pretty good, especially if Aaron Nola stays. I don't know what the current status on his contract is, but you've got Zach Wheeler there for the long term. And a rotation of Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Zach Eflin, Andrew Painter, and Mcgreevey would be a great rotation. And Andrew Painter honestly could be a 1-3-3 in a rotation. And they are really starting to beef up that farm system, and that's pretty scary. At number 14, the Giants went with Will Bednar out of Mississippi State. This, for me, it was kind of obviously a pitcher. It was just a matter of where that pitcher was. I had them going with Jordan Wicks. I was wrong about that. But no one could have predicted Will Bednar's one start that really helped him in the draft. And that's why he was a top 14 pick. Like, I really do think that that's the reason why he was a top 14 pick. Like, I don't think he would have been. I think he might have even fell to the second round. With the 15th selection for the second consecutive year, the Brewers selected an outfielder in Sal Frelick out of Boston College. There are some concerns with Sal Frelick here, especially the competition. I have concerns with all the outfielders in Benny Montgomery, Colton Cousin. I have concerns with pretty much all of them in this draft. But I still do like the idea of Sal Frelick here. Sal Frelick is another outfielder, like I said, outfield of Sal Frelick, Garrett Mitchell, and Christian Yelich for the future. Sounds very, very good in Milwaukee to me. At number 16, the Marlins might have got the steal of the draft, selecting Khalil Watson out of Wake Forest High School in North Carolina, a shortstop. That's left-handed. This guy has an explosive swing, plays like he's 6'5", even though he's 5'9". And this guy, I think he's probably going to college at North Carolina State. I think that's something that's kind of, I don't know if it's been rumored a ton, but I'm going to rumor it because I think that he possibly could go to college with him already being committed to North Carolina State. I think it's a possibility that he goes to college, and maybe that was the risk with him falling so far. But it's an A-plus of a pick. If he stays, A-plus. The Reds at number 17 got Matt McLain, UCLA College. Matt McLain here, this guy I thought could go in the top 10 possibly. Maybe to the Mets at 10. He could have went in the top 10, I thought. But he ended up falling to 17. Right in the Reds' laps. I know if you're a Red fan, you've kind of got a Reds fan, you kind of got a little bit of a salty taste in your mouth. You didn't get Khalil Watson, who I mean almost fell right in your lap, but instead fell in the Marlins' lap here. But the thing is, it's a good pick getting Matt McLain. Now he could play shortstop, he can play second base, he can play third base, he can play center field. It's a very good pick. I like the pick. We'll have to see how Matt McLain develops, but I'm a lot more sure about him developing than a high school prospect. Next up at number 18, the Cardinals went with Michael Mcgreevey, UC Santa Barbara College, and he is a pitcher. He gets a lot of comparisons to Shane Bieber. And Shane Bieber obviously also came out of UC Santa Barbara. But this is a good pick, especially with how the Cardinals develop. The Cardinals are never getting a top 5 pick, never getting a top 3 pick like the Tigers do. They're never getting those type of picks. They're always developing their players later in the draft. And Michael Mcgreevey sounds exactly like a guy who's going to be really, really good. And yeah, Michael Mcgreevey here, I really like this pick. I think that this is a B+. I think that it's not an A, but it's a B+. Gunnar Hoglund for the Blue Jays at number 19. Mississippi he went to college at Mississippi. I like the idea, but I don't like the concerns. I'm going to give this a C just because of the concerns after him coming off of Tommy John surgery. If this guy was regularly at number 19 without the Tommy John surgery, oh my, this would be an A+. Next up at number 20, we've got the Yankees selecting Trey Sweeney out of Eastern Illinois. I'm not a fan of this pick. If you saw my best and worst picks video, which I think is going to come out before this one, I don't really know. But I do not like this pick. I think that this is a D-. This is a bad pick. This is a bad pick. Next up at number 21, the Chicago Cubs went with Jordan Wicks out of Kansas State. This guy fell a little bit in the draft, but Jordan Wicks, you can definitely see the potential. I definitely saw them going with a college arm here. And Jordan Wicks out of Kansas State has one of the best changeup, if not the best changeup in the class. And Jordan Wicks, this is a good pick for the Cubs at number 21. This guy, I kind of had him in the same range of going. But yeah, Jordan Wicks, like the pick. 22, Colton Montgomery from Southridge High School in Indiana, a shortstop. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched his press conference after he got drafted, but I really like how he said that he was a shortstop and that he didn't plan on moving to third base at all. And that's really good for Colton Montgomery. That means that his confidence is up. And Colton Montgomery, pretty versatile in the infield, and who knows how long it will take him to develop. But he's 6'4", right now, and this is a good pick by the White Sox. I like the pick. I'm going to give it I'm going to give the Jordan Wicks one. I think I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to give Colton Montgomery a B as well. At number 23, right ahead of the Braves, the Cleveland baseball team selected Gavin Williams out of East Carolina University in North Carolina. And this guy seems exactly like a Cleveland project type pitcher. This guy seems exactly like, just exactly like somebody who Cleveland would love to have their hands on. And they got him in this draft. This guy seems exactly like a guy who could develop into a really good pitcher and eventually get traded for probably some pretty good assets. At number 24, my Atlanta Braves selected Ryan Tooski out of Wake Forest. I like this pick a lot. He can throw very hard, and he's out of Wake Forest University in North Carolina. And I like this pick a lot. I think that it's a very good pick. I don't think that you reach a lot with this pick. I think that it's a pretty safe pick as well. And I think he could be up fairly quickly. Even though he did struggle in his first year at Wake Forest. Maybe he does struggle in his first year too, but he's got great size at 6'6" on the mound. Yeah, I think that Ryan Tooski is going to be a very good pick. At number 25, the Oakland Athletics went with Max Muncy out of Thousand Oak High School in California, shortstop. Max Muncy, this guy you're going to get him for a cheaper slot value here, which is good. But Max Muncy here, I think that this is a good pick here. Your shortstop is wide open for the future. Who knows who's going to be their shortstop for the future? And why not Max Muncy in the late first round here? Chase Petty for the Twins. Oh my gosh, I just am totally forgetting to grade them. Gavin Williams, I'm going to give it a B+. Ryan Tooski, B+. Max Muncy, C. Chase Petty from Mainland High School in New Jersey for the Twins. I like this pick a lot, actually. I think that this is going to be a really good pick for them coming out of the bullpen. I'm going to give this a B+ as well. At number 27, Padres went with Jackson Morel out of Severin Park High School in Maryland. He's a shortstop. I'm not huge on this. I'll give it a C. It's the late first round. I thought they would go more so pitching here with a guy like a Ty Madden. I know I've mentioned Ty Madden a lot, or even an Anthony Salamacho. They've already got a similar player like Mackenzie Gore in their farm system. Even a guy like a Joshua Baez, I thought might have been a guy that they would have possibly got here. Maybe even Adrian Del Castillo I could have saw them getting here. My gosh, my English is bad. But at number 28, Carson Williams out of Torrey Pines High School in California, shortstop for the Rays. The Rays, I thought they were going to go pitching too, but they didn't. Carson Williams, this guy has a pretty good amount of upside here. Carson Williams, I like the pick. I'll give it a C. It's a late first round. Next at number 29, Maddox Bruns out of UMS Wright Prep School in Alabama here. I like the way that the Dodgers can develop pitching, and this guy doesn't have a great control, but he does have some good pitches, and maybe that helps a lot here. But yeah, I'm not really sure on that one. But if we look here, some of the bigger steals of the draft so far definitely has to be Ty Madden for Detroit. This guy fell tremendously all the way to the competitive balance round. Ty Madden's probably the biggest steal so far, but that's a totally different video. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications. It's like 11:15 at night right now. It's time to go to bed. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications. 92% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so go ahead, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.